Welcome to The Preferred List, a podcast about the people behind the best wedding days. I'm James, a wedding filmmaker. I've spent years in the industry working alongside incredible vendors, and this show is all about the real conversations with the ones who make it happen. Whether you're a vendor or a couple, you'll get honest insight, good stories, and maybe a little inspiration along the way. Let's meet today's wedding vendor. Alexis, how's it going?
Hey, it's going good. I'm excited.
I'm so glad to have you on. And if you guys don't know this, Alexis was like working tirelessly behind the scenes to help put this film day and tomorrow's film day together. I know this is coming out on a random Thursday, but I'm so grateful for all that you've done to help us get things going. Alexis runs Alexis Brooke Photography, and I'm excited to jump into all things photo. But before we do, we're here at Birchwood Venue. Birchwood Venue is a newly renovated event space situated in the heart of Milton, PA. This captivating wedding venue boasts a 4,000 square foot barn that seamlessly combines rustic charm with modern sophistication, surrounded by a picturesque rural setting promising a truly memorable wedding day. And if you haven't met Holly, it's great.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
So fun. She's just now sending me what I'm supposed to read about the venue, so hopefully she likes that. I thought it was pretty good. But we're here with Alexis. Thanks for being on.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Have you been on a podcast before?
I have.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I got a little veteran over here. So fun. So did we meet a while ago? I'm trying to remember
I feel
when
like
we met.
it has been a while ago. Could
Yeah.
I remember exactly what wedding that was? Not
No.
a chance, but we definitely did.
Yeah. And you know what's so fun? It's you like meet a vendor and then you sort of like follow along with like you're like kind of
Yeah.
like in their corner, but you're just like seeing stuff. And I've always just enjoyed seeing your photos. I know it's like through Instagram, so like take that for what it is. I'm not seeing like a print or anything like that, but I've always enjoyed seeing your photos on Instagram. And your work's just been so good throughout the years. But I'm curious, like what drew you into photography? Just, like take me back to the beginning of where your business started.
Yeah. I'll take you back to a little 15-year-old Alexis.
I know, I heard that before we started.
Yeah, I kind of picked up a camera. It was just like a crummy yard sale camera, and I used to take flower photos, of course.
Love it.
And I kind of started with like nature, and I obviously took really great flower photos because I had someone ask me if I wanted to shoot their wedding because they loved my landscape stuff. And so I was 15 years old and I shot a wedding for, drumroll, $40.
Love it. It
I
pays
mean,
for like half a battery.
Yeah, I was super excited. My parents helped me get like a $300 like DSLR camera. So I didn't even make a penny off of this, but I was like,
Nice.
yes. So yeah, then after I did that, I was like, okay, I kind of really like this. Like, I'm a people person. They talk back to me. Flowers don't.
Hopefully all good things.
Yeah, all good things.
Yeah.
Yes, and I just kind of realized how much I enjoyed photography as a whole. And it took me a few years, as I feel like any business does, to really like hone in like what they really like. Plus I was super young, like I didn't know what I was doing. I was still waitressing, like in school and doing photography on the side. And then kind of when I was like out of school is when I was like, yeah, no, college ain't for me.
That whole learning thing, we could just like not do that.
Yeah, no, I am like not an academics person. I am more the creative side of things. Like, don't ask me a math question. I don't know her.
I did like math when I was growing up, but I very quickly went like music, creative.
Yeah, if I didn't do photography at the time in high school, I was like, oh, I'm going to do something with animals.
Oh,
And then I
cool.
realized you had to have like a PhD
Yeah,
in like
a lot of
chem and
school.
stuff. And I was like, oh,
No,
no.
not for me. So you were taking flower photos.
Yeah. Yep.
There's no better way to say it. You were
Nope.
taking flower photos.
Yep.
You were doing a little bit of landscape
Yeah.
stuff. It's definitely not people.
No, not at all.
So how did that work at that first wedding? Did you do any portrait stuff before that wedding, or was that
No,
you
that
just
was literally the first
jumped
thing
in?
I did. Yeah, I don't really recommend that typically. But for
Get some
$40
practice.
and a dream, it
Yeah.
was going strong. But yeah, so I mean, I loved it and the photos turned out great. shockingly enough. I mean, I'm sure there's things I did wrong that, who would know? And,
Yeah.
for what they paid, they were super happy with it. And then I just kind of progressed from there with like, I did everything like newborns and families and
Gotcha.
seniors. And, I did shoot weddings. I didn't get my license till I was 17. So my parents used to have to take me to weddings.
That's hilarious.
Or the client would like pick me up
Yeah.
that day to like go to their wedding all day long. And I
Yeah.
like couldn't leave unless like someone would take me back home, and I'd be
That's so
texting my
funny.
parents like, can someone come pick me up?
Oh my gosh. I can't even like I'm picturing like a bride like coming to pick you up
That's
to like take you to
1000%.
their wedding day.
Yeah, 1000% what used to happen. I mean, I remember going to like one of my first bridal shows when I was like super young, probably 16, 17, and I was like $500.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, you gotta
that's what
start
you had to
somewhere.
do. And
Yeah.
like for years, even at the $500, was second shooting and working
Mm.
under people for like a long time before I like really raised my prices or anything like that. Like, I think it is super important to get that experience under your wing,
Yeah.
because like it's most people's only day doing this, and like you can't just show up with zero experience most of the time.
Yeah,
Like,
most of the time.
15-year-old me was brave. I
Yeah.
don't recommend that 15-year-old brave me.
Yeah, I'm curious like what are the biggest things that you learned in that first like year or two, maybe from your own weddings or maybe even just from like second shooting and working with other people?
Yeah, I mean, I think like something that's super important is to be willing to go with the flow, and also like being able to kind of catch up when it seems like everything is falling apart.
Mm.
Um, like, I'm not a $15,000 photographer, but guess who can catch you up in time and make sure we're caught up and you still get all the photos you want and you need? This girl.
Like, who's got two thumbs that can do that?
Yeah. So like that's super important to me, that like you don't crumble under pressure, or you can't take photos at nighttime because you haven't really done nighttime photos. Like you've only ever used natural light, or you only have one flash setup and it is a 4,000 square foot barn and you can barely catch anything unless we're this close to them. Like
Yeah.
your, clientele. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. Your subject. There we
Subject,
go.
yeah. Which could be the client.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, so like little things like that of just being prepared, but also like not critiquing, but what's the word? This is my problem. I don't remember words half the time.
Yeah.
I'm
There's
kind of like like honing in on that craft of
mhm.
like being able to offer a good quality product even when things can go like awry, like things are going
Yeah.
crazy, but like knowing and trusting that your photographer has pretty much seen everything and can still make this a wonderful, beautiful story out of like what could have been chaos because the hair and makeup ran an hour and a half behind, or
That's never happened.
uh,
I
oh, I mean, wow.
I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. We
Yeah,
love we love you guys, hair and
we
makeup.
do. We
We love
do.
you.
We thoroughly love you.
Yeah.
Things happen,
Yeah, for sure.
A
But you
groomsman loses a shoe,
yeah, you have to be
anything.
ready for those moments when things don't go as planned.
Yeah.
And it could be any part of the day that kind of gets like thrown
Yep.
off.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I've had bridesmaids' dresses bust and I have to sew them in there. Like, it happens. And just being able to be like that cool, calm, collected person. Because, like, for a lot of brides and clients in general, like, the photography is super important, just as video is. And like they start to kind of crumble when they realize, like, oh my God, I'm not going to get like these pictures. Or, oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm not going to get this. Like, we're missing out on this. And like, for me, at the end of the day, your pajama pictures don't matter as much as like your first look.
Yeah.
If we have to ditch your pajama pictures
Yeah.
to make sure that like
It's a fun moment.
yeah, it's fun. It's cool. I love it. It makes like a nice, cute little addition to your gallery. But like in the grand scheme of your wedding day,
Yeah.
choosing what's important, which is like your couple's portraits, your family photos, making sure you're at your ceremony at a relatively good time so that everything else doesn't run behind.
Yeah.
But just knowing that, like, for the most part, you can catch up and still deliver like really great quality photos no matter what's happening, even if it rains kind of thing, knowing that, like, hey, I have the experience to make this happen, whether it's we're going outside and we're embracing this weather with umbrellas or just like the dreariness and the rain, or I also have the experience to make it happen inside. Like, because I have years of flash work under my belt, or like I have a vision. I feel like that's something. I have a vision.
Yeah. Well, I would assume 15-year-old you maybe didn't have I mean, obviously didn't have the experience, but maybe didn't even have like the vision. So like where did that vision sort of come from, or like what kind of pieces did you pull from those first, like, I don't know, 1 to 5 years that you were like this is what Alexis Brooke photography looks like,
Yeah.
feels like.
I mean, just to kind of like slightly bring it back to possibly personality and characteristics, like I think that plays a huge role in like being a wedding photographer, but also possibly just like a very important role in someone's wedding day.
Yeah.
Like being able to be that calm sounding voice, which is funny because that's not what they pay us for.
No.
But like that plays such a huge role. And something I kind of learned too, that like they rely on you for far more than just photography.
That could, yeah. I just saw a post about this recently. I don't know when this is coming out, but recently to this moment,
Yeah.
where it was like photographers are day of coordinators sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're fixing a little hair and makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes wardrobe issues.
Yep.
Like there's a lot of things on
Oh,
your
yeah.
plate.
I
So-
always say I'm a therapist. I'm a landscaper sometimes.
yeah. I mean, you should have seen this room before
Yeah.
the couch is over there.
Yep.
The
You
couch-
gotta redesign
Yeah.
things. You gotta maneuver things to make it look and set a scene.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So like there's definitely things that I've learned along the way that isn't just, photography. It's also just about like who you are as a person and being able to like go with the flow and not freak your client out. Like, could you absolutely turn around and look at your second shooter like, yeah, we're in trouble.
Yes.
We gotta
Say it quietly enough that only they hear it.
yeah, like we gotta figure this out and figure it out quick.
Yeah.
But like to not give you like your clients that like pressure,
Yep.
I think is so important because that also shows through like your work of like, okay, your clients are relaxed, like they're happy, they're having fun, they're not like stressed or
Yeah.
like crying in a corner for half of their photos because
I feel
like
like that's your go-to. Someone's always crying in a corner.
the bridesmaids.
What other ways do you feel like the way that you care for, love on, serve your clients, do you think like stands out and is different than other photographers?
That's so hard because like obviously I don't fully know how every photographer runs their business. And I also feel like I'm so blessed because I am friends with so many great photographers. So I feel like we kind of almost have like the same vibe at some points because like
Yeah.
we do care so much about our brides. Like we do care so much about our couples. Like something happens last minute, like absolutely no worries, like we'll add it to the timeline. Like some brides get so worried that like we're annoyed at them because like they have so many little things to add, but like at the end of the day, like this is your wedding day. Like I am just a part of your story and a part of the puzzle piece. Like I will do whatever it takes to make sure this is the wedding day of your dreams that you've been dreaming about, for years, or maybe just for a single year. I don't know.
Or a couple weeks.
Yeah, a couple weeks. You never know. But yeah, so I feel like for the most part, just like loving and caring on them and letting them know that like you're there from the get-go. Like from the very beginning, when I am having your first initial meeting, I don't even know you. You're not even booking me yet. I am always like, what can I help you with that doesn't even have anything to do with photography? Like I have a lot of knowledge in this brain, even though I said I didn't go to college and I hate academics. I have a lot of knowledge when it comes to like the wedding industry world.
Yeah.
So like I'm there. I have brides literally texting me being like, what colors should the girls wear? What's going to look good in photos? And I love it. Like, I love that personal relationship I get to build with some of my brides. And that, like, at the end of the day, like, is what makes me feel like whole. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so special. I feel like not very many careers do you get to say, like, oh, this is, one of my brides. I've been friends with her for 5 years. I shot her wedding and her engagement session and her first maternity and now her second
Yeah.
maternity. And
That's the thing that's cool about photo is like you can
yeah,
really like our wedding photographer, a little shout out, Catherine Zell. Love you. But she's like done so many different like
yeah.
photo sessions for us throughout the
Milestone
years.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just
Hmm.
really cool to see. Um, I'd have to imagine, there was a time like early on where you were probably just you were just there. It was all just happening. You were just a part of it.
Yeah.
And then there's probably been a time more so recently where you have your hand a little bit more in like the details,
Hmm.
like the planning
Yeah.
process, the like what's the timeline look like?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just curious if you could let maybe couples or other vendors know like what are your top tips to make sure that like the day runs smoothly, everything happens that needs to happen,
Yeah.
and maybe even some things to like look out for when you're kind of planning like timeline stuff and making sure that there's room for everything.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say trust your vendors. You hired them for a reason. Sometimes like hovering over them doesn't always help. But I also think like being thorough, actually reading what your vendors are sending you.
Mm,
That's a big
that's a
one.
hot take.
I know, big one. And being honest with like, so my timeline questionnaires are very thorough. This is where my type A comes out. I
Yeah.
know I said earlier I'm very type C, so like a little bit of both. I can swing both ways. But this is where my type A comes out is that timeline questionnaire. Like, I want to know
Everything.
everything. Yeah. Like, tell me everything. Who are your vendors? What time are you getting ready? What time are you hoping to get ready? What family members don't you like and don't want in your photos? Like, let me know.
Yeah.
Because these are things that are important to your wedding day. And if I don't know them beforehand, I'm not going to be aware of them until that day, possibly, or until that moment,
Yeah, which is
possibly.
probably the worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario. Yeah. So, like, definitely spill it all. Let them know everything. Let them know that, like, the mother of the groom thinks it's her wedding and she, is very hands on. And I don't want to be that middleman. So, can you, by chance, like, keep her out of the bridal suite? Heck yeah, girl. Tell me more.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
like, excuse me, you need to leave.
Yep. Yep. Oh, 1000%.
Yeah.
I've had many things happen, but just like letting those vendors know that like these are the scenarios, these are the things I want. It is kind of crazy to me, the brides that I've had, like, do you accept like a shot list? I'm like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. Like, I want to know the photos that you want. But also, if you don't have an idea of like what you want and you just want me to do my thing, love that too.
Yeah.
Like, that gives me the opportunity to be as creative as possible and to do my thing and to do it well without necessarily having to look at a list. But I also don't mind a list. It gives me something to go off of.
I will say, if you're like hesitant on that, you're a couple that's like listening to this, like just ask and say something because if you
Yeah.
don't, your expectations are likely not going to be met
Yeah, for
because you
sure.
didn't bring it up.
Yeah.
It sounds like for you, you're like, tell me everything. Like,
Absolutely.
if I know all the stuff, then you can craft the day and
Yep.
make sure that the schedule's allowing for all the time for everything.
Yeah.
And you
Yep.
can fight for the stuff. Like, because back to your PJ thing,
I was just going to say that.
if it
Yeah.
doesn't, if it's something that you like absolutely
need
want to
this.
have, you need to
Yep.
have it.
Fine.
If you know that as the
Yeah.
photographer, you'll make it
Yep.
happen.
I'm going to make it happen. Yeah.
But-
Yeah, for sure. And then sometimes like, oh, I decided, we are going to do PJ pictures, but like we're 30 minutes behind and you didn't have that in the timeline at all. And like, I'm thinking, oh, perfect. It's no big deal. I'll catch up somewhere. But now I have to wrangle 10 bridesmaids, get them champagne, put them on a bed.
Some are
you know,
downstairs, some are upstairs.
Yeah, some are still in hair and makeup or whatever else it
Yeah.
is. So like just letting your vendors know, particularly photographers, that like, yes, I do want a first look with my dad. Yes, I do want a first look with my bridesmaids. Yes, I do want, these pajama pictures. If there's some that like it doesn't happen, no big deal.
Yeah.
but like making us aware that these are the things that you would like to happen. Now, I don't need to know that you want your first kiss. Like that's,
Yeah, we got
I
that.
promise. Like I have been doing this a while. I'll try my best.
I might capture it. I might
Yeah.
not.
But yeah, like just like those little things to not forget about them. And like if you want details, like to make sure that they're ready to go. Because that's a big thing lately. Like if you want, a lay flat or you want your florals and you want like your jewelry captured
Yeah.
and you want your dress captured, like make sure it's ready to go. Cause like if I show up and it's gonna take you 20 minutes just to wrangle all that stuff together,
That's 20 minutes you're not sitting in hair and makeup, and also 20 minutes that you're not
yeah, 20 minutes I could have already
taking
had all
photos.
of this done
Yeah.
or gotten it started. Like set someone else on it.
Yeah.
Bridesmaid, maid of honor, whoever, don't care. Just make sure it's in a box, it's ready to go. Grooms too, like if you want, like a lot of times the groom's details get forgotten about, totally fine. Could care less if that's not what you care about.
Yeah.
But if it is something you care about, the groomsmen are hardly ever going to have it all ready to go, like ever.
Yeah,
It's not going to happen. And I know that, and that's totally fine. But if it's something that's important to the bride and the groom knows that,
Yeah.
get a groomsman to like have all of it in ready, like
Yep.
to go in a bin. So then we can like get it done and move on with like the storytelling of like getting ready and like hair and makeup and those
Pajamas.
pajamas.
I might need to keep that in.
Could care less.
Yeah.
The pajama pictures and stuff like that. So yeah, I think like being super transparent and letting your photographer know like these are the things I want.
Yeah.
These are the people I care about. Even little things like I would love to make sure that I get a group photo with my best friends from Sigma Alpha Phi, like whatever it
Yeah.
is, like put that on the list. It's great. I'd love to know it. I want to make sure that I have it on there. And then if we don't have time for it and I ask you like, hey, I'm leaving in 10 minutes. Where are your friends at? Let's get this done. Do you want to? And they're like, no, I want to party. I
Yeah.
want to have fun. I'm like, cool. Sounds great. I just want to let
Yeah,
like,
you gotta check.
yeah, I just want to make sure versus like, oh, I knew nothing about it. And like, oh, now you're so bummed because we didn't get
Yeah.
this. But like,
There's only so much you can do.
yeah.
I want to jump into the storytelling because I've heard you say that a couple of times now, and it's so intriguing to me to have a photographer talk with like words that I would use as a
Yeah.
videographer. But before I do, I was curious. You brought up the flat lay. Have you seen kind of the like back and forth on the internet about like people saying like flat lays are dumb? Or
Oh God. I mean, I have and
A
I
little bit.
haven't. I choose to ignore them because I love a good
you
flat
love a
lay.
good flat lay? Okay, that's what I wanted to know. I wanted to know where you were at on that.
So it actually kind of like helps me get ready for the day.
Okay,
It
like
puts
a-
me in like a good mental space
Yeah.
and it's like a really good creative outlet for me. So I get to kind of like get all the details. I literally am a psycho and have like a big kit that I bring and like it gives me the opportunity to really kind of like get creative before the hecticness of
Yeah.
like boom, 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 boom. Now we're going off for the day. So I love it. Plus, it's like those are the things that you throw away half the time. You lose them, they get ruined over the years. Your jewelry, you probably won't really ever wear it again. I know I don't.
I mean, my wife wore stuff that her grandmother gave her to wear.
yeah.
Not gave her, but like gave her to wear.
Yeah,
And
it's
so it's like
sentimental.
stuff
Yeah.
that you probably might not even
Mhm.
see again.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I don't know. I think it's really important to capture that because to talk about that storytelling, I feel like
Yeah,
it really
tie it right in
just
for me.
bring it in for you. Gosh, I'll just do your job for you. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it kind of sets that scene of like, this is the beginning, like your invites. It talks about your names, your date, your wedding venue. Sometimes your parents' names are thrown in there. But then just like, of course, your wedding rings, your jewelry, your florals, any little like sentimental, valuable pieces that you might want photographed in there. And something as silly as your perfume. Like, oh my gosh, what perfume did I wear on my wedding day? I have a picture of it.
Yeah.
But it just kind of helps set that scene to move into like those getting ready photos and that storytelling of the day of like the fun getting ready moments and getting hair and makeup done and getting in your dress and how like sentimental that is with, your mom or your sisters or your best friend. And kind of like moving from that to, maybe a first look, maybe not a first look, or just those scenes that happen that people don't really see until the ceremony.
Yeah.
So if that's your bride and bridesmaids portraits beforehand or that first look moment, I don't know. I think it all kind of tells a story to the day. And I don't know. That's almost the most important part to me, is telling that story of like you two.
Yeah, it's just so interesting because I do feel like we were talking about this before we started recording.
Yeah.
The photo side of things is a lot of like day of
Mhm.
storytelling, if that's your vibe,
Yeah.
or documenting, if that's your vibe. Video, we are setting up for a lot of that, but a
Yeah.
lot of what we're doing is like behind the scenes
Mhm.
editing, like putting
Yeah.
together the story.
Yep.
Was that something that you always had in mind, or did that grow over time from when you started?
I would definitely say it grew like as I matured and also as
Maturing.
maturing, adulting. And also as I kind of started to really grasp how important to me, of
Mm,
course, marriage is, and
yeah.
like that vow and that covenant, and like this being possibly the only day all of these people are going to be in one room again,
Yeah.
and how valuable that is.
Yeah. If you're taking anything away from that, that's the thing to take away.
Yeah.
It's like
So,
this is the one time you got everyone together.
yeah.
So the storytelling is like kind of coming out of that
Hmm.
that mindset that you grew over time.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I've always really connected with people, but then to be able to connect with people because you're telling a story too, that kind of like then brings it back into that relationship side of things. Is
Yeah.
like your brides and your couples like remember you because not only you were personal, but because you created this incredible story for them about their wedding day, which is maybe until they have kids, the most important day of their life.
Yeah. It did your storytelling, does it shift a little bit depending on like the vibe of the couple, or is
Yeah.
it like how does that change?
Yeah, no, I feel like every couple's different, and every couple's different of like what's important to them on a wedding day.
Mm,
Some couples, all of those details are important, their signature drinks are important to them, their florals are important to them. Some couples, it's no, like we don't have any bridesmaids, groomsmen because we just want to spend as much time as possible with, our family. So we want to get to cocktail hour and we want cocktail hour captured as much as possible. So every couple's totally different, and being able to like go from one side of that spectrum to the other of
yeah.
like, okay, cool, like we're going to have a really, boom, boom, boom day where it's portraits after portraits after portraits because that's what's important. Or what's important is we want to hang out with people. And yeah, we want
Yeah.
some portraits, of course, like who doesn't need some portraits, but also being able to like, okay, like I have a really emotional family, or I have a really loud, fun family. The dance floor is going to be crazy. Like being able to understand what's important to your couple. And sometimes you don't even know till that day.
Yeah.
Like they might think they want this 100 list of photos. And then as we're going through them, they're like,
"Oh,
this
stop,
is a
please."
lot. Can I just like enjoy my day? And I'm like, heck yeah,
Yeah.
girl. Like, let's
Love
go.
it.
I'm here for that too.
Yeah. Um, is your on your style where you have couples maybe that are not as comfortable in front of the camera
Yeah.
at first? How do you bridge that gap for them? And then even just like couples that are listening that are like, yo, I'm not excited for the cameras.
Yeah.
What's your best advice for them?
Again, I think trusting your vendors, picking good vendors that can kind of bring that out of you. And, I think I'm kind of funny sometimes. So I feel like that helps.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really do like, just to bring it back to that personality thing, I tell my couples, like, when we're in that booking process, you need to love your photographer. You are spending 8, 10, 12 hours of your wedding day with them.
Yeah.
If you can't vibe with them, if you can't laugh with them, if
It's
you
gonna be a
can't,
long day.
yeah, it's going to be a long
With them.
day. Yeah.
Everything else is gonna be fun.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like it's really important to pick those vendors that like you really connect with. But I just have people who hate photos. Even if I can connect with them right off the camera, as soon as it's like a dog or a toddler. As soon as the camera goes up, they're like, they won't look at
Yeah,
it,
kid.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So like sometimes it's just trying to make it fun for them. And a lot of times I feel like people want this documentary candid stuff, but they themselves are not documentary or candid.
That might be a hot take. That might be a hot take.
That is a hot take. I've got to say it. But kind of recognizing that, like, at least the way I work, a lot of times the way I pose you might start off like a generic pose, but then we're kind of morph into some more fun poses just to kind of like open you up. Not every single pose is going to be like run through a field or twirl her. You know, there will be some generic poses and kind of just based off of your comfortability. Like I will catch on pretty quickly like what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with.
Yeah, because some couples would probably love to run through the field,
Yeah.
and some are like, I'd rather stand here and not really move around much.
Yep. And I totally get that. You know, I understand. And I never expect anybody to walk in front of my camera and be a model and know that like, oh, this is my best angle or whatever it is. Like
I would start moving their hands around. You're like, wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, good for you, girl. But also like, I would never expect that from anybody. I don't like half the time when I get pictures done, I'm like, tell me what to do now.
Because even like you know what to do with your hands.
Yeah.
But there's still that element of like what looks good from their vantage point.
Yeah.
And also you're putting the trust into that photographer, even as a photographer yourself, to be like, tell me what looks good.
Yep. Do I actually look good from that angle?
Speaking of, you did just get married.
I did. Yoo-hoo.
So fun. So you have like a little bit of a like fun. You did a little bit of planning.
A little bit. Yeah.
A little bit of planning. Has anything like shifted in your mindset from doing the planning, getting married yourself, like experiencing the day? Like I'm just curious, like from your vantage point as a vendor, also getting married.
I mean, kind of like briefly what we were talking about off camera, and I guess a little bit during this, is that I just have put so much focus recently on the day and the couple versus like the show. Like if you want to spend $50,000 on florals, you go for it, babe. I love that for you. But if you don't, like because you care more about the experience your guests are going to have or a really great venue for backdrops of photos or whatever that really is, like that's fine. Like this is your wedding day. I'm just here to capture it however that is. And like that's what's important is like it's your wedding. It's your marriage. At the end of the day, like what I think, what your guest thinks, what your other vendors thinks, don't matter. Thinks.
Yeah, whatever anyone else thinks.
Yeah. What they think don't matter. Like what you think and what like you and your husband or significant other have come together to decide is like what's important about your wedding day. For us, it was just that our family was there and we had good photos, obviously.
Yeah.
You know,
a little biased,
like
but
that is what was important to me. And if that's what's important to you, then great. But, you know, whatever it is that's important to you, I want to make sure to capture that well. But I would definitely say, like, recently it's been like, all right, it's about the marriage. It's not about a show.
Yeah, because it can feel, I mean, you're throwing like a pretty large party.
Yeah.
For your favorite people, which is fun. We love that.
Yep.
But there is a part of that, like you're saying, you are going to be getting married today. There's a significance in that.
Yep.
Hopefully that people are seeing in different ways. But I love the mindset that you have. I mean, it sounds like you kind of had that before a little bit, but it just kind of solidifies it.
I think so, for sure. Definitely planning my wedding in about 2 months. And
maybe you wouldn't recommend it.
I wouldn't recommend.
We did 6 months.
Yeah,
which
6
was
months.
a little bit more time.
I mean, my sisters did it. Yeah, it's definitely doable. It can be a little more stressful, obviously, but ours was super laid back. 30 people, which is just our immediate family.
Yeah.
And it was great. And it was everything, we wanted. And it was stress-free. And, at the end of the day, if it rains a little or, a part of your bouquet is dying or, the DJ didn't play the right song, like it doesn't matter because guess what? Like you got married.
Yeah, which is so exciting. So I have to, maybe there's an elephant in the room. I don't know. I'm a videographer. You're a photographer.
Yeah.
Sometimes our people and your people don't mesh well.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw that out there.
I love it.
We're both hopefully entering the day, if you're a videographer or photographer listening, there for the couple.
Oh yeah.
Generally, if we're there for the couple, like you're probably off to a good start. But I've had not so great experiences with photographers. You
Yeah.
probably could say the same about videographers. I'm curious if you could give us kind of like, there's two perspectives. So like from a photographer's perspective, working with video, like what are they doing or not doing that's like irking you? And
Yeah.
then from the other side of it is like, hey, photographers, like, you know, it is really not all about us and we could be helpful or
Yeah.
different in these ways.
Yep. I would say number one is communication.
Yeah.
Like, I half the time don't even know if there is a videographer. And I put it in my timeline, like, hey, any other vendors that you would like to mention?
And then this like random guy shows up.
yeah, and I'm like, oh, hey, Xavier, nice to see you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so sorry, didn't even know you were here. So obviously communicating that with your vendors that you do have a videographer, but the communication between like photo and video, like I will start off with like, hey, like I'm here to help you and vice versa. Like this is just as important for me as it is for you. So like
Yeah.
we both want to do a good job, not just for our businesses, but like for the couple. So if we can just kind of be on the same page, or just like texting each other. Like I try to get their phone number right away. Like, especially if there's only one videographer, like, hey, I'm about to do bride getting in her dress. Like,
Yeah.
I know you're with the groomsman. Like, I can hold off, but like, are you on your way up?
Yep.
Just communicating that. And like, yes, sometimes there's video that just like piggybacks off a photo, which like totally cool. I'm fine with that. But if there's something that you want as a videographer, or like what I'm doing, you really love and you want that more, step in, just say it. Like, I'm totally fine with that. Like, you don't have to steal them later. Like, let's do it now. Like, I
Yeah.
might be able to get some great shots from the side, or like you might have some great ideas that I would love too. I love working together if we can have that communication.
Yeah. Because there is a part of it too for me is like, I never want to do things over again. There's no
Yeah.
point in like us having like our own time with the couple
Yeah.
or anything like that.
Yep.
So what I'm hearing from you on the photo side of things though is like just start off the day communicating, and then when you come up to a moment where you're like, hey, I would love to get that from the center,
Mm-hmm.
or I would love to get a full wide from back further, or
Yep.
get really close.
Yep.
You're like, just
Let's
say
do
it
it.
and
Yeah.
we'll get it.
Yep. Perfect. I'd love that.
Yeah. No, it's so fun because there is we do piggyback off a lot of the things that you guys do.
Yeah.
And when we are able to kind of communicate well, it just makes our day so much easier.
Oh, yeah.
So just like be cool to work with. you
Yeah.
know?
No, I tell brides all the time that like I think having vendors that work well together is worth its weight in gold.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like if your vendors work well together, they are going to conquer your day.
Yeah, in the best way possible
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Cause like they know like what each other need and they want to get it done, not just for them, but like for you as a couple.
Yeah.
So like, and they work well together. So like I've had videographers be like, oh my God, you forgot your water bottle? Like I'll run and grab it while you need to go do this or whatever it is, and vice versa. Like, hey, I'm texting you. I know you're changing a battery up at your car. Like we're about to run this. Like get down
get
here.
now.
Yeah. Like
no, it's so fun.
I think that's so important.
You said something about trend seekers, and I want to like just peel back the Band-Aid on that.
Yeah.
Or just rip it off. Like explain to the listener like what do you feeling about the trends kind of thing?
I don't know. It's funny because like, so I have people who work for me, and one of the girls who works for me is like super young. She's definitely Gen Z, and I'm like, is this millennial of me?
You're like archaic. Like,
yeah, I'm like,
don't change a
I
thing.
know,
It's working.
I know. I'm like, yikes. But yeah, there's just a part of me that still really enjoys like the classic side of things to an extent. I think sometimes when we're chasing too many trends, again, to bring it back, you're losing what really matters, which is like you're getting married. You are vowing to be with your best friend forever. And it's not about the disco balls. It's not about the crooked horizons. It's not about the Cinema 8 film. It's not about making sure you have 10 signature drinks that all coordinate with your animals. At the end
It's
of
a
the
lot of animals.
Listen, I don't know. I've seen some wild stuff. That's not what it's about. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes social media, of course, puts this persona of like, you're not cool or like your wedding isn't good enough if you don't follow like these trends.
Yeah.
And I think just like any trend, poofy sleeves, whatever it is, it could come back. But also, like looking back at your wedding day 20 years from now, I think about like the burlap brides. I've photographed during the burlap era. Do we regret that? Like, I'm always
We might have had some burlap at our wedding.
maybe.
Christina's going to be like, how do you not remember?
She'll be like, I still loved the burlap, which I loved.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think about some of those trends that like are so pushed on people
Yeah.
that like I see in Facebook groups all the time, like specifically looking for trendy editorial documentary photographer
Ooh,
or
so many words,
videographer.
yeah.
And I'm like, do you even know what all of that means?
Yeah. Probably not. I mean, to be kind, like maybe they do know some of it. But
Yeah,
it's just,
maybe.
it's so hard to have couples that have like a mindset, like you're saying, that's not focused on the marriage
Yeah.
aspect, and it's just like they feel like they have to do these things, like you said,
Yeah.
to make it like a cool
Mm-hmm.
to fit in
Yep.
or do something special.
Yeah, like if that's your style and that's, you've loved disco balls your whole life and
Which who doesn't?
yeah, obviously. Who doesn't love a little sparkle in their life? If that's your
Yeah.
thing or,
I'm just
I know.
picturing a wedding with like disco balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's been trendy or like butter yellow is super trendy right now.
Yeah.
And not that I'm against it. I truthfully love the butter yellow trend.
You're
But
like, don't call it the stuff you actually like.
yeah. No, just like colors too in general. Like I feel like people gravitate towards the trends of like the colors that are going on versus
Yeah.
like maybe you've loved pink your whole life and maybe it's not like the cool thing to have right now. But guess what? Like it's your wedding day. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be what's trendy right now.
Absolutely.
If you like short dresses or you don't want to change your dress later because like that's the cool thing to do right now, then don't.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to follow the trends. You don't have to book a photographer just because they're trendy. You don't have to book, a DJ just because they're trendy. You don't have to book a watercolor artist just because it's the trendy thing to do right now. Like if you want to,
Go for it.
go for it. But you don't have to just because it's trendy. It doesn't like just automatically make you cooler.
You might be already super cool.
Yeah,
without all
exactly.
that
You're
stuff.
cool as yourself.
Yeah. So we've talked a lot, and hopefully couples that are listening or watching are getting a ton because you've really just like you're giving so much advice and like helpful tips and stuff for couples, but kind of jumping more to like the vendor side of things.
Yeah.
What are some things in your business that you've done? Maybe it was like a thing you did like early on that set you off on the right path, or some things that you've done maybe more recently that have like shifted and helped you grow in your business.
I mean, I guess like photography related, I think one thing that's super important is consistency.
Mm.
Show consistent work, show consistent style, show consistent brand, like, happy couples. If you're editorial and you are trying to be more editorial, be like consistent with that. Be consistent in like your color style. If I'm seeing like some moody photos that are like orange and dark, but then some light and airy photos in your feed, like to me, that is a huge red flag. You're picking and choosing, what style is for that day kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or what, maybe that couple wanted versus what that couple wants. Stick to your guts, like pick something, be consistent with it. Whether that's your editing style or, how you run your day or how you, treat your couples, if you give them gifts or if you just check in with them, if you do like personalized phone calls or personalized timelines, whatever it is, like be consistent with that and people will come to you for your consistency because it's something that they like grow to love and know.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're going to get more of the stuff that you put out.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if it is consistent.
Yeah.
If it's all over the map, you're going to kind of get.
Yeah, I think you're going to get
hodgepodge
a
of things.
wide range of people looking for different
Yeah.
things.
Do you feel like the wedding photography as an industry, do you feel like it's changed a bunch, or maybe in what ways has it changed? Because I know you said like trends kind of have come and gone, but like I'm curious, like specifically in like photo, like what's changed?
aside from like those trends, because like I do feel like people, you know, search for different things that are
Yeah.
trendy within like the photography or within the videography or within the florals. But I definitely think like to an extent, the photography side of things, that like posing has changed a lot. I
Mm.
mean, you think about like our parents, wedding photos and how
Yeah.
they're just the generic.
Proper.
Yep,
Yeah.
I always say the fridge photo, like it's
Yeah.
the photo your parents have on their fridge or your grandparents have in an 8x10
For
or
sure.
maybe a 20x24. Real crazy. They love your face.
Huge.
Yeah, so posing I think is very different. We're definitely looking for more like fun and lively and like show a little bit more of like your personality in photos versus like 20, 30 years ago. I know I still try to get some of those fridge photos
Yeah.
because I think everybody loves them. Who doesn't love a good fridge photo?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta start somewhere too. Like,
Yeah.
I always hear photographers saying like, we'll do this kind of more generic photo, and then we'll
Yep.
kind
And
of
then we're
branch into the
gonna,
fun
yep,
stuff.
get into that a little bit more. Yeah. I mean, I think one of my favorite things a grandma told me once, or I saw like right in front of, I was there, I don't remember the exact scenario, but she was like, "Why are you guys kissing so much?" And that just like really stuck to me because I was like, they don't understand.
Yeah.
Like they're used to like just looking at the
Yep.
camera. We're very proper. I have a hand on his
Static.
chest.
Yeah.
His hand is not anywhere near my butt. Like that is not happening. Yeah, like a kissing photo. What is
Why
that?
is he touching her butt so much?
Yeah, yeah. And I think about that too. So I always like to have a little bit of both. But
Yeah, for
posing
sure.
has just changed so much of like what people are looking for and like what they're trying to show off, which again is kind of telling that story of
Yeah.
like, we're fun, we like to golf, we, have an engagement session on a golf course, or, this is our favorite state park. We go hiking here. This is where he proposed to us. Like,
Yeah, or like a
tell,
fun coffee shop or
yeah,
downtown.
exactly.
Yeah.
Or, we love Gettysburg. So, we wanted to get pictures here. Or we live in Philly. So, we wanted to take pictures downtown.
Yeah.
So, again, telling that like story of you guys as a couple versus maybe just some of the generic stuff that we're used to from
Yeah.
like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like I feel like the wedding video scene, well, not everyone has changed, but it's
Yeah.
gone through like a
Phases.
pretty big, like everything was slow and like super slow, and like the storytelling was really, really slow.
Yeah.
And now I feel like it's a lot more lively. But it's so fun to see like how it's changed, and then like to see like has your style changed much with that, or is it like kind of stayed?
I've been pretty consistent in my style for a really
'Cause
long
you're telling people
time.
to be consistent. You're like, I've been consistent.
Yeah, I mean, so I started out different than what I am now, but it took me a little bit of time, probably 5 years, I would say, to really grasp what style I liked
Gotcha.
and then to kind of work towards that. And then as the years progressed, like I kind of learned like, okay, I don't like my highlights that bright, or, I do like a little bit more contrast, or I do like to have a little bit of filmy look in there. Like, you're still kind of honing in on your style, but
Yeah.
it's still relatively staying within,
Like a
your
boundary.
bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of like, okay, people come to me because they want like a natural light photo. It's not like overly edited. It's, pretty on par with the colors of like your day. Your blue dresses don't look like a different color
Yeah.
blue because of my editing style, whatever. So I try to, always keep that in mind when I'm editing and, go with that versus like, oh, I'm going to try something new for this wedding
Yeah.
versus like, no, this is what people hired you for.
Yeah.
You should probably not try a new preset for this one.
Yeah. In general, if you're getting hired with a thing that's out there, they probably want more of that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
If there's a new photographer that's listening that's like just getting started, maybe they've done a couple portrait sessions, or maybe they're just like taking friends of
Hmm.
family or friends. How can they figure out like what their style
Yeah.
is or should be, or what they like?
Yeah. So I have like a really big heart for up and coming like photographers and vendors. Just because I was that girl, I was 15 and I was that girl who like people wouldn't answer me and I had to beg people to like, please let me follow you at weddings. So I like will always answer anybody pretty much kind of thing. But I think like trial and error.
Mm,
Unfortunately, I do think when you're just starting out, it does take time to figure out what your style is. It
yeah.
does take time to like learn, and every editing style is different. So, like if I'm photographing something, I'm photographing it for my editing style.
Ooh.
I might not choose to photograph somewhere if it's not going to work well with my editing style.
Yeah. Could
I'll
you give us
divert a
like
little bit.
an example of like a moment that you've like
Yeah.
shifted because of that?
So, like bridal getting ready suites, just for example, sometimes there's zero windows. Could I use flash? Yeah. But that's not really the style you would see throughout my portfolio. So just moving you a little bit, maybe to a guest room that had, I'm thinking of because we're here in a big house,
Yeah,
which they do have beautiful lighting in their bridal suite. So
they
that's not
do.
a problem here. But like, just for instance, different getting ready spaces don't have a lot of natural light. And that's very important to my style to stay consistent. Could I use flash in a pinch? Absolutely, if I had to.
Yeah.
But if I have the option to move you somewhere
You're
else
gonna move.
yeah, I'm gonna move you because that's what's consistent with my style.
Yeah.
So, or like backlighting versus front lighting or full sun. Like, you're not really gonna see full sun in my photos unless I'm forced to because it's ceremony time or whatever,
Yeah.
because it doesn't necessarily fit my style of like what's consistent. If I have the option, I'm going to put you in better lighting versus, a lighting that you don't really see in my portfolio.
I mean, it's an interesting idea for a new photographer to even figure out like, okay, what's the style that I enjoy on the edit,
Yeah.
but then how am I shooting things differently or good or bad
Yeah.
that's like hindering that style that I like.
Yes, I think
Um,
that takes time to figure out
for
like,
sure.
hey, I'm editing these how I want, but some of these photos are just not looking good. And it could just be something as simple as like green cast, like, oh well, the bright sun is casting from the grass and you're in the very tippy top of the shade and it is just like blowing all
Yeah,
these
throwing the
greens into
green.
your
Yeah.
photo. And recognizing and understanding and learning that like, okay, I don't really like a green cast in my photo. So what do I need to do differently that still works with my editing style to accomplish like what I'm looking for, but that just might mean moving your subject.
Yeah. No, definitely. It's interesting in that like beginning phase of business. There's like a lot of hurdles
Oh yeah.
that we have to like jump, and even just like deciding like, yeah, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Did you have
Have a contract before you even finish. I don't even know what you're saying, but
I
have
don't
a
know.
contract.
I don't even know what I was gonna say, honestly.
Love it.
It was just coming to me. Yeah, so yeah, definitely have a contract with your couples. Were there hurdles that you felt like you had to jump to in that like beginning phases of business? I know you kind of like it just from like an outsider looking in, it feels like you kind of like slid into business. like like you just like over
Yeah.
the course of like a year or two, you just were like, okay, I
Yeah.
guess I'm doing this thing now. But I'm
Yeah.
curious, like in that beginning phases, were there like hurdles you had to jump, you had to like overcome, like even just mental battle of like, am I good enough to do this?
Oh yeah.
Am I
Yep. I think if you're not questioning a little bit of like your talent or, what you're giving to your couple, maybe your heart isn't fully in it. Like,
yeah,
are you like, oh, I got this, no big deal. Who cares if it happens? It doesn't happen. Like, I care so much that I'm like, oh my God, like, did I clash with the groomsmen because I wear black and they're in black tuxes? Like, do I look weird now? Like, no, but yeah, I think it does take time. I mean, I think if you kickstarted a business and you got it off and running in 2 years, like good for you, girl. I'm so proud that you were able to, or guy. I'm so glad that you were able to, do that in that
yeah,
fast a time. But I don't think that that's for the majority of people. I think it takes people a lot longer if you have a full-time job,
yeah,
if you're still in school, if you're a young mom, if you just got married yourself. There's so many factors that go into it. And I do think it's important to remember that, like, you're not alone. Sure, there's some people who have this crazy successful business and maybe they did do it in like 1 or 2 years, but you don't see everything. Social media does not show you
Definitely does
everything.
not.
You don't know like the struggles that they had to
Yeah,
get
for
there.
sure.
And just like keep pushing for it. If that is like what your heart is set on and like you have good intentions, like keep going for it. And don't be afraid to reach out to people. I think it's really important to connect, like that whole community over competition concept that I feel like,
Yeah.
you and I have talked about. And, for the most part, I would say the vendors that you have had on your show would
Yeah,
probably
for
talk about
sure.
as well. It's important and lean on those competitors and, seek them out, like ask them for help. For me, it's just like, hey, do you need a second shooter? And usually we don't, just because like I have a team. But like if you are just wanting to like assist for the day because like you have a heart and a hunger for this industry, like by all means, like come along, come hang out with us.
Yeah,
I'd
I
love
mean,
someone to talk to.
you gotta ask. Like, if you
Yeah,
don't ask, you're
yeah,
not gonna know. And
definitely.
there's a lot of vendor types that would be like, sure, come on.
Yeah,
Maybe we can't pay you
yeah,
to be there
yep.
because
And I think that that's really important
yeah,
because I think people are missing the point at times that like don't if you are actually wanting to learn and you are eager to learn and this is something you want to do, don't come into it expecting a full-time job out of following people
yeah.
or like,
Or
just
even like
starting.
a full second shooter rate.
Yeah, yeah. Like for me, I have to see like a lot more consistent work from you versus just like the first or second time. If
Yeah.
I see you and you're a great assistant, I mean, that's how I found a lot of my associates or my second shooters I use now. Like you've worked with me a couple of weddings and that might not have been second shooting. It might have just been assisting and then eventually it morphed into
Yeah,
second
for
shooting.
sure.
Um, but like be okay with just being that like low man on the totem pole and working your way up.
Yeah,
Like
you
it,
might be grabbing a bag here and
yeah,
there or
yeah.
getting a
And
lens,
you
but
learn stuff. And I'm also totally okay. Like anybody who follows me, I'm like, please ask me questions throughout the day.
yeah.
Don't just slide by and just watch. Like you can ask me questions. It's okay.
Yeah, like why did you pull the couple over here?
Yep.
Or why did you make this decision over that
Mm-hmm.
decision?
Yeah, yeah.
Gonna make
Why
the
are you
most
putting
of
your
yeah.
flash there? Why are you using your flash now? Why not just 5,000 ISO for dancing? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Whatever it is, ask it.
Yeah, for sure. There's kind of this like artist and creative in you, and there's this like business owner, like entrepreneur. Like,
Yeah.
how do you balance those two, like creative and business owner?
So I would say I've been doing this a really long time, and I think one of the best things I ever did for my business was actually give up some of my business.
Mm,
And by that, I mean I started delegating because that gives me the freedom to kind of step away from the business side a little bit and to be able to work well, be in a good mindset, and bring it back to the fact that, like, I do this because I love the art of it, I love the creativity of it, and I love the people in it.
yeah.
Versus, like, I'm just here for the business side of the, yeah, like,
Like,
no,
yeah,
no,
emails and all that.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. Do I still do some of that stuff? Sure.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, I have someone who does my back end work. I have a client care manager. She does our contracts, our invoices. She emails our clients 90% of the time. I will hop in sometimes if it's just a little bit too much detail and I got to really explain it kind of
Yeah.
thing. But for the most part, being able to be like, fly, birdie, fly. Like
Yeah.
you have built a good business and you have trained someone or you've hired a company, a virtual assistant, whatever it is, to kind of help you delegate and not have so much pressure because I think it's really easy for small businesses to lose sight of your life. Like
Yeah.
your whole life doesn't have to be your business. Your whole life doesn't
Yeah.
have to be your job.
It is weird too, because I feel like the wedding vendor space, it's in such a weird category of like, we were even talking about this with like setting up these two film days. There's like a ton of vendors that they also have other jobs, or maybe
Hmm.
they're stay-at-home parents, or
Yeah.
like whatever that might be. And so people are all on this like different part of the journey in business. And I just feel like you are still like an entrepreneur, even if you're like just running it out of your
Oh,
house, like
yeah.
on the weekend you're
Yep.
doing this and that here and there. like you're still running a business. But I'm curious, like maybe there's a photographer who's where you were maybe a couple years ago before you built out like a team.
Yeah.
So like you've mentioned like I have a team. I do my
Yeah.
team, my team, my team, which I love.
Because I love my team.
How did you decide? When did you decide like, hey, I want to pull on people to associate shoot for me? What's
Yeah.
that look like for you? Like speak more to like the other vendors who are like, hey, I'm at a tipping point where I could either go all in on adding more people, or maybe I need to just raise my prices and just book
Yeah.
less for more. Like
You
break
could do both.
break that down for me.
Yeah. So I kind of got in this weird spot, I guess you could say. I wouldn't even say it was weird. I'm super grateful for it. But I was in this dilemma of having so many inquiries coming in or having so many bookings that I felt like my clients weren't getting the care that I
Mm.
wanted to deliver to them.
Notice the emphasis is on the clients. If you're
Yeah.
listening or watching, she did not say I want to make more money or I want to do something bigger. She's like wanting to serve your clients better.
Yeah. And I kind of sensed the disappointment when I was booked. Or I've had brides that like their best friends were at their wedding and they loved watching me work and they loved their photos. And, they could have inquired 2 years out and maybe someone beat them to it just a week before. And they were
Yeah.
so sad. I was the one vendor they really wanted. They thought they'd be early enough. And that like literally like broke my heart a little bit. And I was like how much I would have loved to work with you and to be able to like be there with you on your wedding day and to be able to tell that story.
Yeah.
So that was kind of where I like eventually trained my very first associate, Megan. Shout out.
Shout out, Megan.
Shout out.
I don't know who you are, but you're getting the
She's
first
cool.
shout out.
Yeah, so that was where I kind of like brought her on and trained her for a while, and she second shot for a while. And until I felt really comfortable that she was okay to be on her own. And again, my little birdie flew,
Yeah.
and then it kind of grew from there, and it got to the point where okay, like I'm booked, Megan's booked. Now what? So then, I brought on another associate, and then I brought on another associate. And then even through all of that, I had a virtual assistant helping me.
Yeah.
And then now I have like someone who helps me with social media stuff. And I have, accountants and CPAs and people that like I could not do what I do now without them, and I'm super grateful for them. And I do truly think like I could not have grown if I wasn't willing to let go of my baby a little bit. I built her from when I was 15 through the ground up and went full time when I was like 20, 21, and kind of built this business that I took a lot of pride in, a lot of care in, and, went through the steps of being consistent and learning and the nitty gritty and having to chase people for, experience. And it was hard. It was really hard. And I think the one thing too, to take out of that, there's still learning periods. Even whenever you do decide to start delegating some things, start small, like have someone start blogging for you.
Mm-hmm.
You can start as little as like SEO stuff that like maybe it's just a lot of work for you. It's more stressful for you to have to worry about blogging. Start there. And then also keep in mind that like nobody is going to get it within the first month.
Yeah.
Especially VAs, like, because I have turned so many people onto VAs, but you have to understand you've been running your business for years.
And you might just like randomly do these small things that you don't even think about.
Yes. Yeah. And it takes them time to like learn how you talk. It takes them time to know what it means whenever you say that you need more time because of XYZ, and she also does like helps do my timelines with me. She'll do the first rough draft, but then I go through and like just double check it, make sure it's actually what I would do for the day.
Yeah.
But it's because I've trained her to do that. And it wasn't something she just picked up. Like I had to sit through and show her how I did those things. And it took months of me still critiquing after she did them. And now for the most part, like I'll just go in and fix a typo or two because she knows how I
What you
like to
want,
run my day.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have your systems in place
Yeah.
now, even
Yep.
if you're just starting out, like
Get started young,
get the
early.
systems in, and then when you get to this point that either you just have a business of one and you're just humming along, or you start
Yeah.
adding people and then it's just like, hey, do this thing. This is how I do it. This is my system. And boom, they can just like run with it.
Yep. Yeah.
It's so
I
fun.
think whatever causes you stress is the first thing you should delegate.
Yeah, planning for the podcast. Thank you, Christina, for scheduling and messaging everyone as me.
Oh, woo.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. If there's something that you don't like doing or if
Yeah.
it causes you stress, that could be a thing to
And I think in return,
delegate.
like getting rid of that stress helps you be a better vendor to
Yeah.
your couples.
Whether it's creative or not,
Yeah.
still.
Yep. Yep. It takes a little bit of that stress away so then you can be like fully present on their wedding day, their engagement session, whatever it is. Because you didn't have to do as much of the stressful stuff that causes you,
Yeah.
to whatever it is. You can kind of delegate that and then show up with a fresh mind. Like, I love just sometimes reading my questionnaires that my clients filled out right before I didn't send it to them. I didn't send them the email.
Yeah.
But guess what? I'm still going to read the questionnaire and I just get to read the fun stuff about my couples before I show up for their engagement session versus like, oh, I had to send them an invoice and I had to send them a contract and it took them 2 weeks just to fill anything out. And
Not like worried about any of that
yeah,
stuff.
like I had to resend them the contract because it went dead because they didn't respond to it quick enough. Whatever it is, like
Yeah.
it happens, we get it, but like I don't have to deal with that stressful side of things and I can just show up and be me and be like the present photographer that you want and you need for your wedding day
Yeah.
versus like, oh, they had 10 fixes to their timeline or whatever. And like, this could be a doozy. Like, nope, I don't even.
None of that.
Yep, nope. I'm like, perfect. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Well, Alexis, it's been so cool to just like hear all the business tips.
Yeah.
Like if you're a vendor and you're not getting something from this episode, you gotta like rewind maybe like 30 minutes and listen again, or maybe just go back to the beginning. Your experience is, I mean, you've been in the game a long time.
Yeah.
It's been so fun to like hear that experience. Just let everyone know where they can find and follow along with your work.
Yeah. For the most part, I would say we're on Instagram, which is just Alexis Brooke Photo. I mean, of course, you can find us on Facebook if people use that anymore. But my website is alexisbrookeco.com. So it is alexisbrookeco.com. Yeah.
It's like a little plug there. No, I love it. Then all that stuff will be linked down below. Is there like a preferred spot that people reach out to you, or do you not mind?
I mean, just to kind of keep up with that consistency plug, we do really love a good contact form. It
Love
helps
it.
keeps
Head over
everybody
to
in
the
one
website.
place.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely go to the DMs and just say hi. But like
Yeah.
if you're reaching out,
Yeah, that's
Love
the
that
best place to
contact
get in
form.
contact with us. We
Cool.
don't want to lose your inquiry. Like, it's just, I have so many people who just randomly chat with me. I don't want to lose ya.
yeah, no, I love that. And then I'm just curious, is there anything like coming up or anything that you're excited for?
I mean, of course, fall weddings, but I'm just enjoying being married to my best friend.
Yeah, that's so fun. Well, I appreciate you being on. Again, it's been so fun to hear about all of your experience in the wedding industry. And I hope you guys listening and watching have gotten so much from this episode. I know I have. And I appreciate you all tuning in. That's all for this episode. We'll catch you next time on The Preferred List.